That toy life.
To catch these ghosts, you need the real Ghostbusters.
Nice landing, Han Solo.
Spaceships and Luke Skywalker sold separately. Batteries not included.
That toy life.
Oh,
What
when are we gonna get a new intro?
I guess when we find like an artist to do it. Like, what do you think, Ray? Do you think we should like try to reach out to a somewhat popular artist, see if they'll do some sort of intro for
Danny
us?
Elfman's not too busy. I'm sure he could come up with something for us.
Man, I would love to ask Danny. And the thing about it is, it seems like he'd probably do it. Just hey Danny, just real quick, and there's no profit, so you could obviously do it.
Just don't do anything like your Oingo Boingo days. I like little girls. They make me feel so. That's literally an Oingo Boingo song that he sings.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like
the
Oingo
music
Boingo,
video
and
is
it's
even more
weird.
bizarre.
Man, some of it was good. It was hit or miss for me, but I love his
Weird Science.
latest solo album is really good. Yeah, Weird Science was good.
It's my creation. So
Are we streaming on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is how we start our episode.
No, I'm just saying I can't find the video to upload the Dooflachies.
Well,
But we are live.
We're
I
live.
see
It could be in some country, but we're live.
No, yeah, I see we're live. I see we're live. Yeah. So we are live. We're live.
So do we want to start talking about the big episode of Boba Fett?
Man,
It caused Ashley to apparently rediscover his love of Star Wars.
Yes, it has. It has. I have found the joy that is Star Wars again.
That was a good one. It was a great one. Like I said after I watched it, of course that's going to be the Filoni episode. When we got to the end of it, I saw that he had directed. I was like, yeah, okay, of course. I remember hearing back when the season started that someone said like he was directing like episode 5 or 6. I was thinking, okay, something big's going to happen in that episode, and then I completely forgot about it. And then I didn't realize until we watched the episode that it was his.
I didn't know that it was going to be I didn't know we were going to continue the whole Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting
storyline. It was so. Oh my God! I just whenever all that started, and the fact that we got so much of what we did floored me. Absolutely floored me.
I almost want to rebuke people that say it was too much fan service, but I want to say fan service when it's done badly, it's just there to be there. Not in any purpose, but everything that happened in this, at least to me, it served a purpose within storytelling.
And it also didn't fall into normal tropes. I mean, they actually built like something for the future too, because I mean, it wasn't as easy as some people would assume, that like the situation would be.
Yeah,
that was one thing I really liked. And yeah, I mean, it's weird to expect it in a show that I wasn't expecting it to be about them. I mean, obviously it's about we think it's about Boba Fett, but I like how I don't know. It's weird. It's like it doesn't matter. It just all plays into the larger picture.
Maybe that's why they called it. I mean, maybe that's why it's called the Book of Boba Fett instead of just something like Boba Fett.
The story of Boba Fett. Yeah, it's like I really enjoyed it. I thought, obviously, I mean, Dave Filoni and Dave Klein. I wasn't going to say anything other than I'm just happy that Dave Klein was able to be a part of this again as a cinematographer. I was blown away again. I mean,
I can say do spoilers, I guess.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Well, let's start from the beginning then. So the first big part was we saw Grogu and his training with Luke.
Well, no. If you're starting at the beginning, start at the beginning where you see Vance.
Oh,
Cobb,
yeah. Cobb Vanth, yeah.
Cobb
basically,
Vanth,
literally being Raylan Givens from Justified.
Right.
I loved it. Like me and like my wife were watching. It's like he's doing the mannerisms, like when he was saying the pointing. I could just remember Justified when he was doing the exact same kind of things. Just like little mannerisms where he's like being sarcastic and how he's like pointing things out to him.
Dude, it was a total love fest. Me and my wife both were like, just it's Raylan. That was the thing, was we were so happy we start off with Raylan and it's already like you've got us hooked for the episode.
And they set him up, that he's doing good without the armor. He's a good gunslinger. He doesn't. He's proven that. He's quick on the draw. We find out later he's not quite quick enough, or maybe he is, and he just got distracted. They kind of played with that, but we'll come back to that later. But yeah, we saw him to start with, and then we jumped to continuing Mando going to see Grogu,
which I was like, wow. I mean, how did you feel seeing R2 when I saw R2?
I was excited when I saw it,
man.
but I thought it was funny how he just shut himself off. He's like, okay, I'm done here.
Was like I guess what were they? Because I mean, cut to basically we got Mando trying to find Grogu and Luke, and R2 just leads him to like these construction droids building a little hut. They build him a little bench to wait on, but who was the hut for? Just like, I guess they do explain it later, but I'm just wondering if who was really going to be in that first hut, or was that the hut that we've seen previously?
I think. What do you mean seen previously?
Like in the
Last
flashback
Jedi.
In the Last Jedi.
Oh, in the flashback.
I think that whole building thing was implying that these were going to be the temples that we see in those flashbacks.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
and the construction was similar to on Octo, so that you would think, okay, because so obviously Luke learned, like, this is how he knows how to make a dependable house. Yeah, it's like he could do the same thing every time, and he knows it's going to be dependable every time. So the construction was the same. But I was wondering if that was kind of a hint to, like, a little Easter egg, like, yeah, you've seen this hut before.
I think they're doing a good job connecting everything, because they touched every single Star Wars timeline there. They went to the prequels, the sequels, the original trilogy. So they did a good job, like, just kind of meshing Star Wars together. And
I found it funny that the droids even made a bench for him to make him wait. They even cushioned it with some leaves.
I love that they just made him this bench to rest on while they're still building this Jedi temple in front of him.
You're gonna be here a while, buddy.
Hut.
Let's take a load off. And then he wakes up, and who do we see waiting? I was not expecting this.
I mean, nothing in this show was expected for me. I mean, it was just like, it was just one hit after another. I was totally not expecting her to be a part of this.
But I love that she was included, because, I think I brought this up with you. I've always liked I've always wanted, ever since we found out that Ahsoka survives through the fall of the Empire, so she never meets her end, to Vader. I always wanted to know whether or not she ever sought out or found Luke, or if they ever found out about each other. And I love finding that confirmation that they found each other at some point. I love,
because it had to have. I mean, the way, as powerful as she's supposed to be and all this, I mean, you couldn't have those two planets never cross paths. I mean, it's just, I don't know. They were just so, I don't know. It's tricky too, because you're like, I mean, it could have been bad. But I feel like everything about this episode was pulled off perfectly in terms of, like, the characters and the story.
And also their interactions. I do like, it could have been so easy for someone, I see some of these Star Wars fan channels and stuff like that, and how they talk about how they would do a scene or something like that. And so much of the time it's just basically information dumping, where it's just like, it's, not too well written, where I remember someone pulling off, or saying online that they were surprised how restrained Filoni handled the writing between Ahsoka and Luke. Whereas not restrained in a good way, but, like, they didn't spend like 20 minutes where they just talked about Anakin, and how stuff like that, where they just stayed restrained, where, simply she just says, you're a lot like your father, or something like that. And they kind of keep it. It's almost like they're saving any more interaction in that area, maybe for the Ahsoka series coming up.
I'm sure.
But I do like how restrained that was. It gives you, like, a little tease, a taste of of what can build there. And then, well, moving on from that, Mando wants to visit Grogu because he has his little gift, and he wants to see Grogu again. And Ahsoka talks him out of it. Well, and I do like this because it comes down to it's his choice. It needs to be his choice of what.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Right.
do.
Because if he's going to be a Jedi, he can't have attachment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I guess we'll come back around when we get to the very end, the final scene, because that's a big one. Because a lot of people have been discussing how that was interpreted, but
Really, because I only interpret it one way. Well, I guess when you talk about it in a minute, but yeah.
But we did see Grogu training, and he's actually kind of learning or remembering how to use the Force effectively.
Well, this is the first time we see Luke use like a new power, which is like reach into in Grogu's mind and like pull those memories.
Yeah, help
him remember, which means to me Luke is growing in the Force. I mean, he's not, he's becoming more and more powerful.
Yeah,
which is cool,
And we see a glimpse of Order 66 in that memory.
Yes,
and and they're still leaving a mystery. I'm guessing that's going to be a mystery that's going to be continued maybe into season 3, because it looks like something they could follow as a thread of who saved Grogu, maybe, or something along those lines. Or
I don't think he was saved. I think the clone troopers got him, and
he so?
was and I think he was like in the Emperor's care for for a while. I mean, that's my thought. Yeah. I mean, the Emperor was using him for some nefarious reason that we don't know about yet.
That's a good point. Yeah, it just makes me wonder, because it does seem like he's got memory that's locked away for one reason or another, whether it's wiped by somebody else, or maybe it's physical, or maybe it's trauma that he himself is, repressed. Yeah, I guess it's kind of a mystery they're kind of holding on to show later.
Wasn't that great though, getting to see the flashback to the Clone Wars again though?
The troopers looked great.
Oh my god,
the trooper models looked amazing.
Kind of looked like the Nick Gillard.
Syndralic.
Syndralic that was defending them. I was wondering if that was a callback in some way, kind of a nod. Because
I think it's just an homage.
A shout out.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty. My view is that I think it's just an homage to him, that look, because he straight up got killed by Anakin in the hologram that Obi-Wan saw. So that's where he met him.
Right. I mean,
Yeah,
I just always wondered if they somehow were like trying to go like, oh well, not for sure, but we're just gonna reuse the same character. It's always interesting to see how the choices they make with the
I think it mainly has
Easter eggs and stuff in these shows.
Well, it has to. I think it mainly has to do. I think one reason why a lot of people have not noticed it was the hair, and not many Jedi have that hair, but there are a couple, because Qui-Gon also had that same hairstyle from the back,
pretty much,
or similar, very very similar to it. But so moving on from that, we get back.
Well, the reason I was saying that the Emperor, I think the Emperor has him, is because if you notice, like in the Battlefront, I think it was Battlefront 2 in the story mode, where Luke's on this quest to grab different artifacts that the Emperor's hidden, and I just think that Grogu is like one of those artifacts that he is hidden away, and somehow some group, I mean, when the Empire fell, this group probably raided this storefront or whatever, or storeroom that the Emperor had on whatever planet, and Grogu was there, and they grabbed him, and that's why this remnant of the Empire wants him back.
That makes a lot of sense.
So, but I mean, that's just me throwing my 2 cents out.
That's a good one. That's a good theory. Go ahead, Austin.
No, I was just saying that's a good theory. I agree.
Well, after we get through the training, then we jump back to Mando, because he decides not to visit Grogu to, distract him from his choice, but he does leave the gift, and then goes back to Tatooine, where Boba's planning to take on the Pikes, and Mando says, I know somebody who might be able to help. Goes to see Cobb Vanth. They have a little one-on-one. We see that he's Marshal, and he's got his own deputy now, which is pretty cool.
Deputy Scott.
The worst deputy ever.
And the worst name for a Star Wars character.
Like from the get-go, he was already I knew something was going to go down with this dude. I'm like, I don't like him. I don't like him. He reminds me of too many police officers I've known. And I'm like, this is not going to go well.
Was left, all that was needed was for him to also say, you know, man, I can't wait to marry my best girl this weekend. Oh man, it's going to be the best day ever. He's like,
the Barney.
You got a target on your back from the moment you stepped on screen.
I got you. Yeah.
My best girl.
But as soon as Mando leaves, we see someone in the distance, and the moment I saw the silhouette and saw the hat or the shape of the hat or the head shape.
Oh, I knew it too.
Yeah, I was like,
I knew it too.
Oh wow,
I know who that is. I know who that is.
And yeah, Cad Bane appears, threatens. Oh yeah, there should be a picture of how he looks in the show because I was really impressed
for sure.
with how he ended up looking.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We just keep
it
in the show related.
I was going to say, in the live action series, like now, I can tell one major difference is they shrunk his hat down a little bit. Like the brim is not quite as big.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this is the.
Wow, man.
But also, I like the explanation for why his skin tone is a little lighter. People point out like it's an age thing, most likely. Like that'd be why he would be lighter color because he's getting up there. He's 70 now, I think, by this point.
We don't know how his species ages.
We don't know exactly. Yeah. Other than it's similar, I think it's not too far off from humans. Maybe they live a little longer, but he is. I think it is supposed to be an indicator that he's up there, though. He's getting up there. He's not as young as he was when we last saw him.
Right. I was going to say if he's been chugging along, like heavily since the Clone Wars, he should be way up there. So, but man, I was so excited when they brought me because I wasn't expecting this at all to introduce the Cad Bane character. Yeah. And I hear that they put out because of that, they're putting out the toys. Like it's going to be like here, you see there's like a pre-order on Entertainment Earth.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
But I thought that they were going to be, for some reason I heard March, but maybe these just aren't going to hit their stores until August. But
Entertainment Earth tends to get stuff a little bit like a month later than everybody else, to be honest.
Yeah. So I'm going to be waiting a little bit probably for my Cobb Vanth when it finally comes in. But when I saw him, it was like a mix of excitement. I think I mentioned this when I texted y'all about it, and dread because it was Cobb Vanth he was walking toward.
Yeah, me and my wife were like, "Don't kill him, please, don't kill him."
That's what I was so worried about.
Do y'all think he's dead?
I don't think Cobb he's dead because it was obvious the way that he was shot. If the writers and director intended for us to think that he's dead, it would have been a dead center shot and not one that grazed off the shoulder.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he got shot in the gut.
No. If you watch it, go back. He just hits him and knocks him back.
Well, I noticed they were putting like a bandage or something,
which is weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's a blaster fire in a sci-fi show. Nobody was sure where he actually got shot when they were filming.
Yeah. Just put it anywhere. We'll fix it in post.
Because my assumption was when my thoughts when they were like trying to bandage, like I think you're on the wrong shoulder. It looks like you're going toward the wrong arm. He was shot on the right side, not the left.
Right. No, what they ought to do is just start carting around like a big old barrel of Bacta everywhere. You see it sloshing around, then they just throw the bodies in there, just move.
But using Cobb Vanth though, that was a perfect way to introduce Cad to live action because both characters are very much Western motifs, or Western based in how their design and characteristics are. So he was the perfect one, and they set up in the beginning that Cobb's no pushover when it comes to a quick draw. So you kind of have this wonder like who's gonna, if you don't know anything about Cad Bane, you'll be wondering like, oh wow, how bad is this guy? And he took both of them out pretty quick.
Yeah, he did. No, Cad's gone up against like other Jedi like Quinlan Voss and Obi-Wan Kenobi and stuff like that. He's
he's
Anakin.
Yeah.
He's experienced. Cad's been there, and that's what I'm saying. Like I can't wait. I'm wondering. I'm guessing they're setting him up to face off against Boba.
Yeah, they got the history.
They have the history. Like I'm just saying that it wouldn't be Mando as his main villain. It would be Boba as his adversary. It would be Boba. So that's going to be a oh man, a fight of the century. They better make that a really good showdown.
Well, there was always the storyboard that was never finished for the Clone Wars, like an unfinished episode idea. I think they only did some animatics for where they had a showdown, and whereas young Boba,
with Boba, yep.
And that was supposed to be the origin of the dent in Boba's helmet because they both shot each other. And actually, Cad does return in the Bad Batch, and I think the plate on his head is new because he has a plate somewhere on his head, doesn't he?
Yeah, I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched the Bad Batch. So,
but my assumption was maybe it was supposed to be a remnant of that encounter. So maybe that encounter did happen, but both of them just survived it. You know, and he just survived it a little worse for the wearer because he didn't have a helmet.
Well, you know, his hat was pulled down pretty far in this episode, so
yeah,
you couldn't. I don't know if you could tell.
And that was another great thing about it. The prosthetics looked incredible. Like I thought he looked great, and I felt bad for the poor actor who had to wear them because you have no. My assumption was that there's probably some tubes that probably go under, maybe to the tubes that go down to help him breathe.
Probably. I'm assuming if all of that was practical, unless some of it was, because I assumed that maybe this was CG or
maybe
either they did after effects on eyes, but either that or some of this was like expanded. You know how they can do like an expansion where they'll make the head a little bigger. I don't know, like maybe the actor, if you really look at it, he's wearing like a green face thing, and he's and his nose is here. He's just got all this painted and everything, and then they just do it in post.
Yeah,
kind of like a Voldemort kind of thing. They just that right there was one example. Like they've mastered it. Like we have finally arrived to where we can do a fully live action Star Wars show. And I don't think anything has limited them so far. Like they've introduced Cad Bane. I would have never imagined Cad Bane being a major character in a Star Wars live action series, because it'd be one thing to put him in the background because it's easy for him to do a Duros character in the background, but to
make one an actual character that has to move and
emote and all that. Yeah, that's what's so crazy. And not only do they do that, but then they offer probably half the episode to a CG altered character, which is Luke Skywalker,
which looked a lot better.
Almost flawless. There are some shots that are some shots are questionable, but you're never gonna be perfect. But for the majority, it was scary how much it just looked like Mark Hamill from Return of the Jedi.
Well, yeah, I think one big advantage was that this time, whenever we saw Luke, it wasn't actually Mark Hamill. It was it was someone else, and then they just deep faked his face. And then I think Mark had to do voice work.
I think Mark came back and did some scenes for it.
Really? I know that there was an actor who was his double that was walking around and stuff.
But I was under the impression Mark came back for that. And then the voice work is just some new technology, I believe.
I mean, I assumed they were using his voice, but tweaking it, audio tweaking
It's sort of like the deep fake stuff with the video, except for it's the deep fake stuff with audio that they're using. So they just kind of scan in his audio from him talking some other time when he was younger, and then run it through the computer, type in whatever they wanted to say. I'm kind of simplifying it.
I think Val Kilmer's documentary uses some of that technology.
Yeah.
From what I understand, I haven't watched it yet, but apparently they use some of that technology to replicate his voice a little bit. But with this, I want to say it's probably a lot of the same from the last, where it's a mixture of, I don't think Mark Hamill, if he did anything, it was probably a few shots, but for the most part, body double, and then they deep fake the face. But I wonder if this is the work of, because the first time around it wasn't quite as good.
That hurt. It was good enough afterwards.
Remember there was the guy that corrected it and released it on YouTube, and then got a job at Lucasfilm with it. I wonder if this was his job he got. Was all right,
or at least he worked with him on it. Yeah,
yeah. They were like, "Here, you did it so good. Fix this. Like you do good again."
And it's getting a lot of praise. Like people are praising that, like how much better it looks than.
It's going to start a debate. I mean, we already are in the debate, but it's going to really start people talking like, should we be doing this? Because it's getting to where you can do anything now. Like, we'll just have young Marlon Brando like they did before, but we'll literally have just like streetcar, like Marlon Brando, and just put him in this movie.
Well, you know what this does open the door for?
Diaz comedy.
This literally opens the door for new Star Wars movie with Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher.
It would
And
be
all
so
of them.
weird to watch it, though. It would be weird knowing it's not them. Maybe one, maybe two of them.
I find that,
But I doubt that they would cooperate. It would be hard to think that they would cooperate.
Yeah. I
Really?
don't know. I'm not sure if
know.
I think. Yeah, I'm not sure if I see that happening. At least not yet. For one main reason is I know there had to be a good bit of resources that went into just having Luke appear as he did in the episode, but the big thing was he wasn't even a main character of the episode. He wasn't a focus. So, they only had to make sure they only had a certain amount of shots with him that they had to focus on. But if he's a central character, they'd have to, that's a lot more resources. You have to tweak the audio, tweak the face, make sure it's all looking good.
But you're also talking about streaming TV show money.
Yeah.
And big budget movie money. Mm-hmm. That's totally different, so maybe they could put more resources into doing something like that. Or, maybe not all three of them, but just a Luke Skywalker movie. I mean, obviously they've already done it. Mm-hmm. I mean, the technology's there and is good enough.
I think Disney wants you to go and probably wants us to think more along what Rian Johnson said and,
move away from them.
Well, not just that, just like the whole idea is like, you got to stop treating me like I'm some mythic, legendary figure, The basically is like, look at our new heroes. Quit thinking so much about that one over there.
Yeah.
The old man.
I know, but still. I mean, they're the ones doing it.
Yeah. Well, I think this is
because
if it wasn't for Filoni and Favreau, they probably wouldn't care to ever bring him back. Yeah, I feel like this is mainly Filoni and Favreau. They know what story they want to tell, and they're not going to just try to ride around using certain characters. Yeah,
that's why
if they think Luke needs to be included, they're going to put him in because it makes sense.
And that's why they need to be leading the whole franchise.
Yeah, I mean they do a good job. I think they're happy where they are right now because they
ought to be driving the boat. I mean, movies, everything. I'm not saying they have to direct the movie, but be involved in the story. Be involved in
kind of like Feige, kind of have like some like. They always take the scripts and they kind of like give them hit tips like, oh, what if you add this here? What if you hit this beat here?
Dave Filoni is the Feige of the Star Wars universe.
He'd be a good one.
Yep.
Moving on from that's almost the end of it. So we Cad Bane wound Cobb Vanth, kill his deputy. And then we go back to Grogu and Luke, and he shows him Yoda's lightsaber, which apparently I thought was destroyed in the comics.
I don't know. I don't know that they said it was destroyed. Wait,
it was like Mas Amedda made this big cauldron. He made like a public spectacle of it where he threw all the Jedi lightsabers into it. But someone tweeted one of the story group people, and they said, we did account for this, but our reasoning was he's a 900-year-old Jedi. There's probably more than one, lightsaber that's been in his possession at one time. So maybe that's the reason. Like maybe that's not the only one that was around.
Or he could have.
Yeah. Maybe he made a new one after.
Watch you say that around. I'm sure you'd get crucified for saying Yoda built something during his Empire Strikes Back days when he was just hiding away as a hermit.
Well, you never know.
I'm fine with it.
It's the same. I mean, it's the same like for trying to explain why Obi-Wan had the same lightsaber in episodes 1 and 2 and finally had his correct one in 3. But he lost the first one. Remember, he lost it in 1. It would have made sense for him to either have Qui-Gon's in episode 2 or go ahead and have his new lightsaber that he made, that he would have made for himself by episode 3.
Yeah.
Because it's the same plans that Luke used for his. But I'm just saying like you said, there's probably all different ways you can retcon it and make it make sense in the continuity.
Yeah.
It was kind of a questionable thing. Like I was kind of curious why they chose to include Yoda's lightsaber in the whole demonstration, but I guess also to kind of give him familiarity to the point where it's like, because I would expect him to want to build his own lightsaber, obviously, but I could see him also trying to take that. It is kind of different. It's like, hey, buddy, I really don't know how to build a lightsaber for your side. So this is I got.
I think
Go
that
ahead.
comes back to what some people are complaining about, like when it comes to this scene, because the crux of this scene was he tells Grogu that he has something from the Mandalorian, and he shows it, and we finally see what they built with the spear, the Beskar spear, and it was a little chainmail.
Mithril. It's the Mithril coat.
Yeah, it's like space Mithril. I loved it. Like the second.
No, I did too. I just immediately that was my first thought was I'm like, oh, I like Frodo.
Yeah, but I laughed because I forgot about it. But I remember when they were forging it, we saw the little links, and I was thinking, yeah, that's probably going to be some kind of little mail because there's tiny little round links they're making. But he shows them the mail, the chain mail that he left, and then he shows him the lightsaber. And he gives him a choice, and people are thinking like, why would Luke do this? Like he's seeming dog, he basically like they didn't like how it made Luke look like he was. But I the way I saw was he was, we saw that he acknowledged earlier on he wasn't sure if Grogu was truly wanting to do this. If this was truly where his heart lay, and I felt that it was more that he wanted him to make this choice of where he feels that he belongs, what his home is to him. So that's what it felt like. It wasn't giving him a choice of you can have this lightsaber or you can have this mail. I think he was trying to, you kind of get what I'm saying. He was trying to help him. He was trying to help him figure out what he wanted, not tell him it's this or this. No, it's like you do need to figure this out so that you can figure yourself out. You're not going to be able to move on if you can't, figure yourself out, know who you truly are.
Yeah. Plus, they're too heavy. They're both, to me, they're two equally heavy paths that he's showing to him. It's like they're both is a burden. You're going to either be going to take on the burden of a Jedi or the burden of whatever this path with the Mandalorian leads.
Which he does say, the hard thing about being with the Mandalorian is, the pain. He's going to have to watch him, die eventually because
he's going to be like
got an
Arwen.
extreme lifespan. His people live for 900 plus years. So, no matter what they survive, eventually, whether it's battle or sickness or age. I mean, he's gonna have
what
to
he's gonna pick. He's like, I'm gonna pick Daddy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to Daddy, and then when Daddy dies, I'll come back and train because I'll still be like infant age when he's gone. So I'll be back.
I think he's gonna pick Mandalorian too. I mean, they didn't carve that droid port out of the Naboo starfighter for nothing.
I was going to say that's for Boo. That's little Boo.
Yeah. But it makes me a little disappointed also because it feels like, I mean, I know they have to do it because that's keep it in continuity, but it feels like they're setting Luke up to become the dogmatic failure that we see him become in The Last Jedi because the reason he gave up was he thought that he after what happened with Ben, he realized the failure of the Jedi because he was trying to do what they did. But what I didn't like about that was the whole point of Return of the Jedi was he was able to save Vader despite his, because he loved him. And Yoda and Ben were both telling him, you have to destroy him. That's the only option you have. You have to, you're gonna have to kill your father. There's no, you can't save him. You're gonna have to kill him. And he didn't accept that. So, he was supposed to be this new age of you can be a Jedi and you can have love and attachments. You just have to be able to work through them, when bad stuff happens. And it kind of goes all the way back to the first one, like the failure of Anakin was Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan tried to adhere to the dogma of the Jedi, whereas if he had a trainer like Qui-Gon, who was very much a kind of a rebel, and he was not afraid of his emotions, he would have been able to help Anakin possibly work through his emotional issues that he had, work through, his problems, falling in love with a sinner. He probably could have helped him through that. And things wouldn't have happened how they did. It's that what if scenario of what would have happened. And I feel like Luke was supposed to be what Anakin could have been had he not, fallen into the dogma, been failed by that dogma of the Jedi of the Old Republic.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
Yeah, that's just what bothers me about Ryan, about the Last Jedi. Luke was that it's like he didn't do that. We thought that's what he was going to be, like a new type of Jedi, but instead it seems like no, he just went back and just kind of tried to redo what they did, and then
for all the hate I give the sequel trilogy, if they can create story to sort of make sense of the whole sequel trilogy, like leading up to it, and it'll take years, I'm sure, of different stories to fix everything, but still keep it in continuity. I think I might appreciate that more, because I mean, sometimes if you look back, we appreciate the prequel trilogy, the original trilogy, a lot more because of just diving into the Star Wars universe the way we do, with reading the books, reading the comics, and
world building.
World building. Yeah. I mean, because if you if you go from New Hope to Empire Strikes Back, there's a big gap there we don't know anything about. And it's sort of plopping you into the action, and with this gap in between the story, and all of this filler stuff comes in that we just suck on to, and we learn more about it so we can appreciate it more. So I'm hoping that they can do that to help me appreciate the sequels more, because right now I hate the sequels with a passion. I hate them.
Yeah, me and my wife are currently rewatching the sequels. We're watching The Force Awakens right now.
I'm not going to go off on a whole diatribe about the sequels, but I'll say this: it had a good cast of characters and ideas that I think were just failed by the writing. The writing and egos. I would say the egos of the directors. But I'll say it was both of them too. I think there are faults. They're both equally at fault. But you had great casting. John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Daisy Ridley, fantastic casting. Hey, if there's a lead trio to be the passing of the torch, that was a great one. Yeah, I think it's just they were kind of just let down a little bit by things out of their control.
I totally agree. I mean, I don't have a problem with any of those, and they do make great characters. It's just there was no rhyme or reason to some of the things they did, and then especially in the end when you bring the Emperor back without even mentioning him anywhere else along the way. He's like, "Hello, the Emperor's back. Don't you remember hearing that story we heard on the street 3 days ago?" Oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think simply I think what I'll just get at is like, I don't mind seeing any of those characters returned in some form. If we see a novel following some of them, if we see a TV series following some or one of the characters, I'm fine with that. I'm for that. Just make sure that Johnson, Abrams stay far away from it.
Yeah, really. Or when you do decide to continue on with a new trilogy with them, make sure it's planned out ahead.
Yes. But I would hope, like, if you did something like a TV series, you would have an overarching idea of where the season is going to go before you're even filming the first episode.
Yeah.
That and also make sure that the two people that are or there were supposed to be 3, but make sure that they are jiving
with each other, because
it's easy to blame JJ. The only thing I blame him for is the third movie, but the first movie was fantastic. The second movie is great in its own way, but it's almost like watching two people fight, where you're like, oh, what's going on? Like you wait, is there problems? And you start, it's like you're seeing these two people like just staring each other down and going like even heavy, and you're like,
yeah,
are there problems?
The first time I think I've ever seen I think that's the first time I've seen a blockbuster where you can kind of see the
tell that it was like
behind the scenes.
That, and I can also just feel that there was probably just the tension there with like even with Kathleen Kennedy, where she was like, this wasn't supposed to happen this way. Okay, like, because I mean, the bottom line is, I feel like if Ryan had played nice and played ball, different ball game. So it left them scrambling. So I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to go down that path, but I like with these, I like how they can play in the sandbox and redeem a lot of that stuff. That's how they've been doing with the prequels. And I like that because a lot of times it does take these kind of expanded universe explanations to really give more importance and stuff, more emphasis and context to certain things that you may not have jived with before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do hope that they can open stuff up soon with that whole era, because one book series I would love to see a continuation on would be, I'd love to see a follow up to Lost Stars.
Yeah.
Claudia Gray's book. And one reason why she has not been able to, she says she's got ideas for where it would go, but the problem is that whole era is still kind of locked up. And then when you see kind of what Filoni or Favreau are kind of doing with it, looks like they're setting up big events that are going to happen in that intervening time. And if she's going to have any of these events mentioned or as a backdrop in her story, they need to be able to happen so that she can work in that that big sandbox. So,
Understandable.
Understandable.
I get it.
Yeah, that was the big Book of Boba Fett episode 6, the episode before the finale. So back to toys.
Back to toys. You've been sending us images of lots of Lego.
Oh yeah,
that have been looking kind of cool.
Oh yeah, they dropped a couple of new Star Wars things recently. Let me see. Let me pull this up.
I went to Walmart yesterday and I saw like a new Hoth set, like the smaller set with like maybe a speeder bike and some snow troopers. I saw that around, but I hadn't, has that Mandalorian set been released yet? The Luke fighting the.
No, that was that. I think that was just a preview. As in, like, I think either a leak or somebody just like happened to catch a picture of it.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, but let me see. I can show you what's currently been released.
But I know there's some new helmets coming out from the Mandalorian and the original trilogy.
Let's see. Can you see this?
Oh yeah.
So we got a Dark Trooper
helmet. Ooh.
And I think I showed y'all this one, the Red 5 helmet. I love this because I think, is this their first time kind of handling a Rebel helmet type?
I think so. I don't recall ever seeing anything like that.
Yeah. I love, how they did like the visor and everything. It looks fantastic. And if we go down, we see they got Mandalorian. We got a new Hoth ATST with, looks like it's got Chewie. And I think.
Oh, an Imperial probe droid.
Yeah, if we go into it.
The one he didn't destroy, it had a self-destruct.
Yeah. What is that? What is that noise supposed to be? Was that just
we need to record? We need to record you saying that.
What, the tauntaun noise? Or
the probe
droid. I don't know. It's like it always sounded to me when I was growing up. When I first heard it, it sounds like it's saying need some assistance. Need some assist. Need some assistance. Need some assist. That's what it sounds like it's saying. Like it's just mumbling. It's like mumbles from Dick Tracy going like need some assistance. Need some assist.
Oh no!
Need some assistance. Need some assist.
Oh no! I think I lost it.
What'd you lose?
I lost my. Oh, there.
It's mine.
Oh yeah, I did lose my mind for a moment there. Hang on, let me pull it right back up, and I will. Pull that back up, and there we go. All right, there we go. I lost the tab for a second there. That's why. All right. It does look,
cool. It looks different too.
Yeah, I do like the look of it. I mean, I don't actually have any Imperial sets. I think other than I have one. I have Vader's TIE Fighter that was part of a 2-set with an A-wing, or his TIE Intercept. Oh God, forgot what his was called. TIE Interceptor.
Yeah, I've got the ATST from the Rogue One set. And I've got an AT-AT from Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, nice. Is it an electronic one or just
no? Just
moving.
Regular. But that ATST looks different than the Rogue One one. I don't know what the difference is.
Oh, that's not Han. Who is that then?
Admiral Riken, maybe.
Let me see. I was trying to go to the front page again. Let's see.
Does it say?
Shit!
Get that bigger.
That's just Hoth Rebel
Trooper and ATST driver.
I
like
guess they
how
had
happy. I love how like excited the driver is. She's just like, it's my first day.
Hello, let me shoot some rebels.
No, really, there was it wasn't this picture. It was another one that Ray had up, and it was like she just looked so happy to be in this position. Just, hey guys.
Hey,
Chewie!
little probe droid, you're going down.
Need some help, Chewie? I'm here.
He's just he's mad. They messed up his coffee.
Wow.
But so they have a new Hoth ATSD. They got a little snowtrooper battle pack.
That's what I saw at Walmart. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed a lot of Lego collectors. I didn't realize, they try to build up these little armies almost of stormtrooper types. So yeah, these like get popular a lot. These type of little battle packs that are just basically multiple little minifigures of trooper types. Clone Trooper Command Station.
Oof.
Oh, is that Ahsoka new?
No, I think that's just a commander. This figure.
Yeah.
That Ahsoka's terrible. Yikes.
Defensive Hoth minifigure set. The Clone Command, that looks kind of like Commander Cody's type of.
Jesus. Is it like a thing? Like, what is that supposed to be?
They're called brickheads.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they do them for different characters. Oh yeah, you probably dig this, Austin. Check it out. Little mini Razor Crest microfighter.
Oh,
That's cool.
that is cool.
I want that Imperial Star Destroyer for $700.
I want the AT-AT for
It's hard
$800.
to find.
No, I'm serious, man. If I was rich, you know what I'm saying? If I was like
This would
Billie
be great to
Eilish
have.
rich, Post Malone rich, this is what I'd be spending my money on. I'd have the big Lego sets and the big just all the toys. I'd be friends with all the like the company runners, like me, Ray, and Ashley. We would know everybody, and just get all the toys. Yeah, you just get them sent to your house.
No, I would buy a Rancho Obi one from Steve.
I don't know if I want to take it from him though, man, because I feel like that'd be disrespectful.
No, it'd be like, you're retiring.
Bye
Bye bye. We're gonna ship all your crap to the East Coast, so some people over here can visit.
Have you seen this big one, Austin? The AT-AT?
Good Lord!
Like how detailed it is. Like you can.
I think I have, because I think I saw that at the Disney
Oh,
Lego store, and it was
awesome.
huge because they had that and the Star Destroyer, and they're huge.
Because basically it looks like it's made to
God.
scale. Like, look at that. You can fit. I think they said you can fit about 40 minifigures inside of it, or somewhere around there.
God, 40.
I think. Yeah, I might be a little generous with that number, but yeah, you can fit a lot in there. I mean, this thing looks.
I know someone that's got the Millennium Falcon, the big special edition one, and I can
really
imagine. Yeah, I can just imagine. Number one, how long it took to build it, but also just the money. Those boxes look so nice. I want the Batmobile, the '89 Batmobile.
Oh yeah.
Every time I go if I ever go to that Disney store and see it, to that Lego store and see the Bat, they have it there, and they have the Batwing. I just drool. I'm like, oh, I want it so bad.
Me want it.
Yeah, I think we're getting into the stuff that we already know about. But one thing I would love to find, I love this Republic gunship. I love the design. Anyways, I'll stop sharing.
I was gonna say I saw this. It looks like it's on Entertainment Earth. I'm sure it'll come out sooner rather than later. Actually, you may have brought this up before on a previous episode, but man,
those are cool.
It's expensive, but I would love to have this figure.
Yep.
Even the box looks great. I mean, he looks great,
dude. And this is like wave 2 of the Simpsons. Have you seen the others?
No,
the other waves. Oh man, they're all just awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
Krusty.
Fully articulated, just awesomeness.
Oh, I want a Mo. Oh, he's got a flame. Hey, Ray, look, he's got a flaming Mo.
Oh, and he even has his little bartender apron. That's awesome. And his jar of pickled eggs. Oh man,
wow.
That was great. That's fantastic. Yeah. Oh, and the panda that he's smuggling. Oh,
Duff Man. No, I would definitely. I would
losing oxygen.
And I see that because they're also doing the Bruce Lee line.
Yeah, I thought you'd be interested in that.
Yes.
Which one out of those two? Because there's that one and there's the other one where he's wearing the yellow
I'd probably
suit.
do the yellow jumpsuit one.
I was going to
Just-
say, I
just
don't know. I
because
like
it's-
both of them. This one's the one from Way of the Dragon, which is my favorite movie of his, of like
Yeah.
the Hong Kong movies. But then the Game of Death jumpsuit is obviously like the
It's the
iconic.
iconic one. Yeah, the
Yeah.
iconic one.
But then again, well, I mean, he's got looks like you can change him too. I mean, it's
Oh, no,
I mean
this is
either
two
way.
different
It,
figures.
oh, is it okay? They were
Yeah,
just
it's
showing
two-
them side by
two
side.
Yeah, it's two
I
separate
gotcha.
figures. Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay, but yeah, this is just looks great.
They do look great. They look awesome.
I'm trying to remember the company. Excuse me. It was the oh Lord, they just put out a Popeye figure we talked about before. I would love to have that figure.
Boss Fight
Yeah,
Studios.
there you go. I was going to say it kind of reminds me of that. It looks really good.
Oh, have you seen what Boss Fight Studios is putting out now? They just released. I'm not really big on the figures like the characters because they're all Flash Gordon, but the style figure is just like Superpowers figures from DC. I mean, I wish. Let me see if I can pull them up because they look. It's just daggum jam up. I was hoping I say please bring the DC stuff back with these, but I doubt they'll go that route.
Are you talking about this right here? They're
those Power Stars? Yes.
Oh yeah, I think we've checked these guys out before. Yeah,
Yeah.
Phantom looks great.
Well, no, these are different. These are
Oh.
not. So like the Power Star. I mean, the other ones we were talking about are their hacks figures, which are like this. They're fully articulated.
No, these are more
these are
simple.
like, yeah, these are more like this style figure right here.
just 4 points.
Yeah,
Or 5, I guess.
one-
the
yeah,
neck.
yeah, because you got the bended knees too.
Oh, okay. So okay.
Yep. So looking forward to those. Very much so.
give you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
wow. They got Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, they do.
I've never watched that show.
I haven't either. I'm just impressed that they got a big IP like that.
It's all right. It's not the greatest. Yeah, I mean,
Tell me when they get the IP for Justified. I'll pay attention then.
That man, I'm
Braylon-
serious. I would
Braylon
love to
give us
see
figure.
I would love to see McFarlane Toys or somebody do that because I think I saw don't they have the new line of the Witcher figures out now?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. They look better.
I was going to say I saw them at
movie.
Target the other day and they look pretty good. I mean I would definitely buy one. I mean I thought Geralt looked really good. The only
Until you
ones I
get it.
saw was
Until you get it in your hand and it falls to pieces.
like oh no.
Yeah, something going on with that quality control. Oh,
Yeah.
there goes our chance to get Todd McFarlane on the show.
Yeah.
Whoops.
So here I'm going to show you this too, just because I thought it was pretty cool. This Boba Fett here.
So who is this by?
This is Hasbro.
Oh, this is Hasbro. Okay.
Yeah, this is just announced.
Whoa.
Like last couple of days.
So is this going to be his look from Book of
The
Boba Fett?
Mandalorian.
Oh,
Yeah, no, the Mandalorian, because you see, he still got the little dress skirt thingy on.
Huh, what's up with the okay. Well then what was the one that I pre-ordered then?
I think you got the one. You mean the full suit from the new Book of Boba Fett version?
I assumed that it was the one from The Mandalorian. Okay.
Yeah,
Man, that
you
does
probably
look
got
great.
Because
Man,
there's
I'm
even another version of the one where it's all the whole black robe
Mhm.
with the gaffy sticks and all that.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to try to Tython.
I
Jedi
really-
Robes.
I know
I'm gonna
this
have
sounds
to try to
crazy.
pre-order that.
I wish they would
Fantastic.
put out some either like some in-action figures or something, sort of like the NECA Toonie stuff that they've been doing. But I would just love to see Hasbro put out like the Star Wars animated stuff, like the droids and Ewoks series cartoons, and do like little statuettes, whatever you call them, things of them. That
At
would
first,
be so cool.
you flabbergasted me at first because when you said in action, my mind thought you were about to say, "Man, I want them to make some in excess action figures from like the band." It was like
I always think
I
of
didn't know
it.
you
Yeah.
liked them.
Oh man, In Excess. I don't know anything about that band. I know that there wasn't there like a
Let the
like a
word
live.
out.
Oh my lord! I know there was like
Yeah.
some live show or something one time where they were looking for
Better.
the lead singer.
Yeah, I think the lead singer died
Yeah,
not too long ago.
but
Oh yeah, I think it's like what's his name is now their lead singer, Adam Lambert or something.
I don't know.
One of the American Idol winners, I think, has taken over.
It's a new sensation.
It's a new Oh man, now you got that song stuck in my head.
Yeah. I don't know. So do we have
Cozy.
hauls this week?
I don't.
No,
Me either.
we're haulless. What are we gonna
We're
talk about
haulless.
now for the next 5 minutes?
We're haulless. I can show you what I pre-ordered or what I ordered
What
today.
have you ordered?
Let me log in over here and I will show you what I ordered in my account.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna start typing up my letter to request that let's say who should it be? Hasbro will try to create a wave of NXS the band action figures.
Really?
Yes.
All right, let me share. Oh, what have I done? Share my screen. Show
You know
my-
what? You know what? Blockbuster. I'm surprised one Blockbuster franchise has not really had action figure sets.
What is that?
Fast and the Furious.
We don't need it.
I'm just kind of shocked. They got cars. They made a lot of car toys. I'm surprised. With the egos of a lot of the actors, I'm surprised they haven't tried to make get action figures made of themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Rock's gonna be loving a Black Adam figure being made of him when it comes out.
Oh yeah, he will. Look at there. So this is what I pre-ordered today, just because I had some extra affiliate money. And
Moff Gideon. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So my Star Wars love is back for real.
That's actually one character. That's one figure I need to get in Black Series. Is Hondo.
Hondo and Naka.
Yeah, he's been popping up more finally because he wasn't exclusive, I think, with Black Spire, wasn't he? Or in Galaxy's Edge?
Probably. I know that
I think
you
he
could,
was at first.
like the pop. I know there was like a Galaxy's Edge pop that you could get with him and stuff, and then I think a 3 3/4 inch figure. Yeah. But yeah, I haven't seen the Black Series figure anywhere for him.
Yeah, you can get him now. He's not sold out like he was for a long time, but I've seen him on Target at least, and I think he's available on the Hasbro Pulse now. I think, but yeah, he's available. No, it's vintage collection though, so no. But Black Series is available on Target. I think he might be exclusive with them, maybe. But
all right. Well, no hauls. The end of the story. We've ended the Book of Boba Fett for this week. We got, I think, one more episode next week. So we'll probably wrap that up and give our reactions to that episode because I'm sure it's going to be bonkers because they've been building up for a big story. So
interesting though. What's the next Star Wars TV project after this? Is it
Kenobi?
Is it Kenobi or is it
I think so.
Andor?
Andor's like late next year. Late this year, I mean.
Well, whichever one it is, this is going to be an interesting one to see because this is going to be the first one where neither Favreau nor Filoni are part of like the main writing team.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing in any other capacity, like production, producers or executive producers. But yeah, this will be the one where they're not heading the project.
And I'm super excited about Kenobi. So
no, me too. That's the one I'm the most excited for. So
yeah,
for sure. All right, guys.
Alrighty.
I guess until next time, my babies.
Just short of 1 hour. Bye-bye.
That toy life.
To catch these ghosts, you need
fever
no real
blister says
Ghostbusters.
Nice landing, Han Solo.
Spaceships and Luke Skywalker sold separately. Batteries not included.
That toy life.